Right, very nice day yesterday. I did a video pre-market where we were already up a bit, but we hadn't even crossed 4,200. That's what I really wanted to close above that. We've got that small continuation today. It doesn't really matter if we keep going up today or not. We could go back, retest 4,200, even go a bit below it, sideways back up. Doesn't really matter what we do, but next up 4,400. Well, actually, it's just below. It's yeah, 4,360. This line, right? I've had it in for ages. So that looks good. Um, yeah, I mean, a little bit green today. We've given back a bit, but it doesn't count because it's pre-market. Silver, oh, look at that. Perfect. So that went up also, but 63, for me, 63 equals 4,200, but actually, no, it doesn't because gold's a bit stronger there. 4,200 has already been crossed and some, and 63 still hasn't been crossed. That's what you need, right? You need silver to close above 63, and to be honest, a little higher than 63, like 64, nice little number. Also, we will take out this downtrend, and that's the one starting from all the way up here. So that's what you want. You want 64 in silver, and you can see it's already a bit red. So silver is underperforming gold uh the last 1 or 2 days, including today. So that's what you want. Silver is 64, and then honestly, then you should go towards 70. That would be beautiful. And then imagine what gold's doing. Gold will obviously by then be beyond 4,360. It'll be probably 4,450, above 4,400 basically. Then we're hitting this zone, the descending coming from all the way over here. So beautiful day. I think the damage is done to the shorts, right? I think the bottom is in, famous last words, whatever. I think it is the case. So we can go sideways, but I still think we keep going up. I just want silver to cross 64. Now the miners outperformed. Look at that. I mean, look at that. We've definitely taken the descending out. So the miners have really done very well. I mean, the bottom looks very far away. Closing the high of day, closed that resistance, right? You got this 84. So that was price support. We flushed it. We traded back above it. Yeah, so it's good. Taking out descending, closing the high of day near 84. Next stop will be all the way up here. This is me sort of daydreaming about what my portfolio value will be once we get there. But yeah, 90. That's your next stop. But that's a big move, 6, 7%. That's gold, 4,000, way above 4,400 probably. Silver, probably closer to 70. So that's what that move is. We need the metals to do a little bit more. In fact, I'm gonna be precise. I think we need silver to cross 64, and then we can start, you know, for these to reach these next levels. I think it's all about silver hitting 64. And when you got that happening, you probably got gold doing its thing too. GDXJ, the miners are, look at that, nice move, like 7.5%. That's a big move. And as soon as you're at 4%, like 3% is still mediocre. 4% is good day. 5% big day. 7.5% huge day. Huge. And that was just after crossing this descending, closing above it. Just. Bam, huge move. So, but this will also be like, I think, silver 70, even though we're looking at sort of gold mid tiers here, the ETF, but I think silver 70, gold. I don't even know the next level for gold. As soon as you cross 4,450, I don't know the next level, but it's a big move, but I think it's coming. Right? Not today, maybe not even this week, but still, because what are we with Thursday today? So SIL very nice. I wish it had touched here, maybe even closed above it. That's your next stop. So it's going to be 86-ish. You want to take this descending out, the one spanning out from the very, the beginning of this year. So SIL, big moves, just a bit more. Silver at 64, going towards 70. You're probably going to be all the way up here on SIL, in this gap zone, which means you're basically like at silver 70, you're halfway through this entire range, right? This entire range from here to here, this drop we've had, this 40% drop once you're in the gap, and silver's very far from 120. So I think what the miners are outperforming. They're definitely higher and they look like they want to keep going up. Maybe we just go a bit sideways, a small retrace. I don't care. This week, what we did yesterday and the day before, that's enough for the week. That's good. Let's just see if next week we can go to the next level. SILJ, very similar. We've gone back to this level. It's not the strongest level, but I think it is a level closed above it. But also, a bit like SIL, you've got this little descending, right? SIL and SILJ, they both have this little descending, which is, 2, 3% higher. So maybe we touch it this week, maybe, but closing above it and going to the next level, that's probably for next week. Right, let's look at no, let's look at DXY. Yeah, look at that perfectly, just trying to curl on this ascending. I just feel like it's gonna flush it. Like it will bounce a little bit, we'll curl, we even spike a little bit, but we'll flush it. Or it'll just happen real quick. I just don't see us taking this out. All the news in the world, the war, the market's going down, yields going up. But of course, this Japanese intervention stuff, that's probably just been a bit too much for it. Already, it was going up, despite all those positive factors for it, and then the intervention just sort of takes it down. And the ascending chart is the weakest. Well, I don't know if it's the weakest, but it's one of the weaker charts, right? I like to break out of descending like this, kind of like what we did with gold. But this one is the ascending, so it's more likely to drop. And long term, it's weak, right? Fundamentally long term, dollar de-dollarization, etc. Enough said. Yields, let's see what they're doing real quick. Compared to the dollar, I think they're a bit strong, especially when you go out to the 30-year. Yes, we had a drop, but it's just retested breakout. And it's funny, yields generally going up with gold, that's totally doable, right? Historically, we've seen that a lot. This idea that gold goes up only when yields drop, not the case. So I'm not too worried. And I remember that massive reversal, like 2016, that was as soon as rates started to hike. That's when gold took off, if I remember. Right, let's look at, oh yeah, and copper, the other metals, they're also cool. Look at that. Broke out, little retest here, up we go. Copper is just, but my holdings in copper are higher now than at any other point, which is believable because look at this chart, but I'm in the minus. Quite a lot in the minus, like 20, maybe 20% of my gold and silver my copper miners are worth 20% of my gold and silver miners, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I got a damn lot in gold and silver. So the other metals are looking good. Let's look at the individual miners real quick. Start with Newmont. Look at that. Beautiful. I was looking for a close above 100, like touch 100. Maybe we can close above 100. Bam. Way above 105, 104, 105. Next up here, 112. Said that. Very obvious. And I mean, we're not going to do it this week anymore. We've already had this huge move. So maybe we go sideways, maybe down, whatever. But if we have one or two good days next week, we could end up testing that. And if you take the time element, like a couple of days, we're starting to hit the descending also. So it's really this descending line. A lot of them, the GDX, the SIL, SILJ, quite a few miners or mining ETFs have the descending that's going to be tested. Not immediately, maybe next week. But Newmont deserves to be really high. Jeez, the money they're making. Barrick, that one's at its descending. Next level is going to be the horizontal. I love it. Like I don't need to add any trend lines. They've all been done. They're all pretty accurate, I think. That's a beautiful day. That's one of the better ones. Like open at low of day, if we ignore pre-market, close a high of day near the descending, beautiful. So a close above, I don't know, 42 definitely takes care of the descending. Next up, 44, pretty much. Right, Akinico. This one had a monstrous day, 10%. 10%. You don't see that often in a Akinico Eagle. And that's after a pretty poor candle relative to the others the day before. So it really made up for it. Completely cleared this descending. Like very obvious. One, two, three, four times it hits. Bam. Next stop is 180, or just a bit higher than 180, right? 182, let's say. And then you got a little gap. In fact, you got got quite a lot of levels. This reminds me almost of Harmony. This looks like a terrible stock that's had nothing but bad news, but it's probably the best gold miner, and I don't think it's had any bad news. So this is just, you'll get resistance on the way, but if gold just keeps going up, forget about it. This is just gonna print huge money. It's a massive percentage gain. And that's just what you needed. A day like yesterday to sort of shake everyone's negative psychology. Like this thing can make big moves. It will go up. If gold goes up, this will go back up to new all-time highs. I'm pretty convinced about that. Beautiful day. Wheaton, that one did quite well. I just don't like how much it gave up before the close, but it also touched its descending a bit like Barak, if I remember. So, okay, I understand there's resistance, but it's a shame it gave up so much and didn't close. After looking at Agnico, it would have been better if it closed in a high day. Today, let's see. Tomorrow, let's see. But next week, if we can break out, I think it's going to take next week. Then that one also goes towards its next horizontal, which is a gap. A lot of them have that actually. The next level, right? For a lot of them is the horizontal and it is a pre-gap. So that's quite interesting. Franco Nevada, this one, what is that about? Up only 3.5%, closed near low of day. I didn't really understand that. But again, this one, another one that hit its descending and then started to go down. The resistance was quite strong on the descending. Honestly, a lot of them have the same one. And then if we take it out, maybe today we outperform actually. Even if it's a bit of a red day or something, I feel like Franco will outperform because yesterday it was just such an underperformance. But after we start to clear yesterday's high of day, 232 or something, then we start to go to this little horizontal here. Many have the similar chart. Royal Gold took out its descending. Close middle of the day, okay, 4.5%. That's acceptable. Next up is this horizontal here, 227-ish, 227.5, let's say. So I mean, it doesn't look like much, but that's quite a percentage move. Yeah, 5, 6, another big day. So much ground to cover. It's good. It's a good thing. Because if gold's going to go to new all-time highs, you're going to make so much money back. And I've done a lot of these calculations already. Like by the time the miners go to, we shouldn't take it for granted, but if gold goes to new all-time highs, silver goes back to 120, the miners by then will be at new all-time highs. They'll outperform. I'm going to be a lot higher in my portfolio value than I was last time at all-time highs. So I'm looking forward to that. In fact, I feel like I only need to cover half to be at my all-time high portfolio value. It's also because, copper, um, maybe some other stocks. I'm counting some other stocks doing an average performance, but I've added on the way down, so that's going to have helped. Okay, Metalla. Now this one, right? Yesterday it was understandable that 8 was still resistance. We didn't clear it, but then, sorry, the day before. But then yesterday with the big day, obviously we didn't clear 8, and that is exactly the kind of candle I expected. A sort of above average day, standard above average day, 7%. Beautiful. Closing a high of day, pre-market we're already green. Um, to get all the way up here, we need that level. I looked at a lot of these charts. They all need that big next level up, 6, 7%. Metallo, even though it's strong, you can't just fly up here whilst the metals are sideways, which they might be today. So to get to 919, which is the all-time high, if you know what I mean, like the 52-week all-time high, you're just gonna need a big move, one extra level up. So I don't think we get there, but I think it's the next best after Aya. Aya's already done it. That'll be the last chart I cover. Aya gold and silver, that's completely cleared 32, if I remember. But Metallo will need a big day to get there, and it will. It will get there, it'll go sideways, and it'll break out. Just need gold to go up, basically. But very, very nice performance, beautiful chart, easy to read, and the future looks also quite obvious. I am gold had a weak day on Tuesday, but yesterday made up for it, 7 and a bit%. That's cool. Touched its descending. They all did it. I mean, the descending is accurate and it makes sense. We touched it, we went down, we closed middle. It's a good day. We just need that one extra day to push us up. We need a day like yesterday. A lot of them need a day like yesterday, another 7% kind of day, and then you'll be above 17. You need to be above 17, then you can start going to the next level, which again is very obvious. I think my levels are very clear, and I do think they're pretty accurate. In fact, I'm convinced they are. So today, I don't know, maybe sideways, maybe retrace. I hope we don't start going down and giving back and gap filling. And I really don't think we make new lows, by the way. For gold to go down, you need the dollar to go up. Yield, it can happen, of course. Yields start going up, some crazy event. Um, Yeah, it could definitely happen. There are so many black swans out there. And I'm not talking about war related. I'm talking about financial, monetary, something big that could send gold down, but eventually it would come back up anyway. Right, but yeah, no gap fill, please. Let's just go sideways, break up, and go to the next level. Equinox, good also. It was a bit better than I am gold the day before. Bam, look at this one again. Touched its resistance. It wasn't descending, it was horizontal. Like obviously 1050, right? I've had it there for a while. Went down a bit more. Next level is going to be here. Obviously, right? Prior support, its resistance. Yes, it could be a bit higher, but who cares? It's 12. It's 12. It's 11.99. And it's going to be this descending. One, two. Okay, it's not the most credible one because you only hit it twice and you hit it like all the way up here and there's no even spacing. But yeah, I can imagine we take a couple of days and you're going to hit descending. So this should be very, very clear and obvious resistance. It's also been a pretty weak stock on the way down, so lots of reasons for it to get resistance on the way up. I still think long term this boom 20s. Maybe it'll take a bit longer, but this basically 100% in 12 months. El Dorado, another one that had a weak day the day before yesterday, and then boom, really made up for it. The best performer, I think, 13% hitting resistance. Obviously, again, like how obvious is this? You could even move it all the way to here, hit it there, 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 and then boom. So 36. Next one is 38, and I mentioned it actually on the day because I did the video the day before. I did the video yesterday pre-market. I was saying 36 is your next level. I didn't think we'd get there though in one day, but we did, and we actually closed in a high of day, and we closed at 36 apparently. Let's see, 38 is your next level, and then after 38, it's gonna be here. I didn't think I'd have to. I like it when I have to draw the lines, fresh lines. It means we're going up in this case. And then you got the gap fill, but by then you've probably got everything going crazy, so you might even fill the gap straight away, etc., etc. And here you're not going to just go up a little bit, you're going to go to all-time high. There's my El Dorado resistance, 38 and then 43. Big move. B2 gold. Nice, this one. Okay, then we'll just move it down, put it in the middle. 420. Okay. Nice. Okay. Average. 5% is kind of average. Next level is all the way up here. This one's a weird one. It's got gap up, gap down. It's an ugly chart. Just thank God I'm not trading this one at all. I'm just holding. Right, I'm just holding this one. So up it goes. There'll be lots of mini levels, gaps, but just leave it, right? But as long as it can perform on days like yesterday, then we're good. We just need the gold and the mining ETFs to go up and the chart will take care of itself. Up it goes. I don't think I need to add this, do I? I'll just add it. Last one. This should be pretty strong resistance then. Okay, we'll see. Harmony. This one, you know, this used to be one of the ugly charts. I think B2 Gold has now taken that one, but it's outperformed on the way down. It didn't make new lows like many of them did, even though here it was, I think, the worst performer. But since this bounce, it sort of did okay. Kind of been trading the same area, like 14 to 18, let's say. And here we are, and we hit this level. Let's just say this is the level then. Well, yesterday's high of day is a level in itself. Next one's up here, right? 1950, let's say. And then once you're at 1950, you're basically in the middle ground, right? You're in the middle of this entire range from 26 to 13, which is 13 different. So 6.5, so 19 and a half. So that, yeah, this line here represents the middle. And that's your next level. So that's pretty cool. And then if you just have gold in the mine and the miners go up a bit more, you're already in the upper quartile, let's say. So that's harmony looks okay. It looks okay. Jesus, there's so many gaps and moves. SBSW, a little disappointed actually. I was expecting more in this one. I was expecting more. I know it's a long way up, all the way up here, but still, it's SBSW. If things go up, it should be going up more than others. So, and I think Platinum Palladium did very well. I think they look even better than Gold and Silver. I didn't take a look at them yesterday actually, but okay, it doesn't matter. you've got two levels. You've got this breakout zone of 9. It might be a bit higher now, actually. It might be probably there. But and then you got this zone here at 1050. So which one are you going to touch first? 1050. Could go down a little bit, fill a mini gap, but I think it should go up. Aris, gee, I don't even understand how to cover Aris because it usually has a New York ticker, which I've got, which is what I'm trading, but this one's only got the TSX version. I don't even trust this one. Is that the move it did yesterday? 5? Yeah, it could be. Yeah, Wednesday. Okay. Apparently, close near low of day. That's not great. 6% is average. It's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. Yes, this is your level. If it takes too long, then it becomes stronger because they're descending. But I feel like next week, early next week, we could already be testing 25. 25 is a big level. And it gets even bigger if it takes long to get there, because then you'll be testing it when it's hitting the descending. Otherwise, it's going to be the descending a bit later. So this is an okay day, not great, not bad. Right, silver stocks. Pan America, nice day, closed above the resistance, which is 47.50. Even filled a mini gap. In fact, this is your level now. Yesterday's high of day is the new level. Closing high of day, closed above resistance. That's cool. Up 7.5%. That's very cool. Made up for the day before, which wasn't perfect, but it was okay. Next stop is this 54. That's a big move, I believe. That's your silver, yeah, 12%. That takes silver going towards 70. Going towards 70. Yeah, you could even be trading above that if we're at 70. Because then you start to have this leveraged move, this sort of dramatic, magnified move in the miners, and I think Pan America would take part there. So it's a good day yesterday. Let's just not give anything back, please, today if we're down. I think it'll be a sideways day, and it could be constructive sideways day today. First Majestic, touching resistance. Yes, it did absolutely perfectly, but it's already cleared the descending. The day before, it was like, did we clear it? I thought we did. I really tried to move my line, so it's perfect. But yeah, yesterday, that's why I always like that extra taking out the horizontal. My favorite, like I said, is taking out the descending, my favorite bullish move. But you always want that extra move up to make sure your lines are good. And that usually is the next horizontal resistance, which in this case is here. You don't even need to close above. You don't need to close above 18 to confirm that you've taken out this descending. It's clear now, right? Geometrically, it's very clear. But I would have been good to close above 18. Maybe we can do that this week on a mediocre up day. The next level is going to be 20. But remember, a lot of the silver stocks have 18 as their level. A lot of the ones I own, which I think are the best. Right, First Majestic, Heckler, Coeur d'Arlène, EXK doesn't have 18, but EXK is maybe my least favorite holding out of all the silvers, but it performs well on good days. So yeah, 18, next stop is going to be 20, nice and simple. Good performance yesterday, almost 7%. That's kind of what you would expect. Right, next one, CDE. CD 7.5%, a little bit better. Definitely cleared resistance here, right? Look how obvious that is, 1650. 1, 2, and even 3 there on Tuesday. Next up is 18. They like 18. Once you close above 18, I think it's more significant on CD than first mid. Well, it's about the same thing. The next stop is less obvious because you could say it's this. You could say it's 1950, which is kind of like a round number. You could say it's 20, which is a very round number, and this is also kind of 20. But I don't see 20 as particularly like besides this, there's nothing. This goes over it, opens above, closes below. It's not that clear. So yeah, 1950, 20, and then even this level, it's not that clear CD to me, especially after 1950. It's just, you know, maybe 21's a bit of level. You could just be safe and say every 50-cent increment. So 1950, 20, 20, 50, 21. I mean, there will be resistance at every 50-cent increment anyway. But who cares? Let's just close above 18. Maybe that's asking too much today, this week even. And the fact that we're down, yeah, we are actually down a bit pre-market. We just need silver, right? We need silver above 64. Then you can really make a greater impact. Right, Heckler, another one that had 7.5%. That's a nice looking candle. Closed kind of in the high of day, popped our head above this little zone. But this descending 1, 2, 3 is credible, evenly spaced out, right? Um, in fact, this can go. It's just a descending. And it already acted as a resistance yesterday. 17 bucks, basically 17 is your resistance on Heckler. Close above that, then you've got 18, which is probably more relevant because it's first of all it confirms that the descending is done because it's the horizontal after. It's also a nice number. It's also clear resistance there, and it's also a part of a pre-gap move. So if you can close above 18, then you can really make a lot of progress. Like straight away, this gap fill at 19 and then 21. Clear levels. The levels are pretty clear for all the miners, right? CD is a bit special. Some of them are a bit special, but a good day. 7.5% Heckler. Let's not give much back, please. EXK, another one. 9 bucks, right in the middle of the circle. Um, there's your horizontal, there's your descending. It's credible. 1, 2, 3. This is what makes it credible. And then here 4. Um, next up 9.5. Actually, my charts are really sweet. Sorry, but I'm looking at all of them and they just I've had these lines for weeks and they really done their job. But let's just close above, huh? Let's close above and keep going. This week, I think we've asked a bit too much. No, we've waited. We deserve this move, but I think asking for more is asking maybe a bit too much. So maybe today a bit sideways. Maybe it'd be good to close Friday on a small up move. Then the weekly candle looks like a high of week close. That would be cool. And then we continue next week and go up an extra level, like a 5 to 10% up move in the minors. That would be really sweet. In fact, a 5 to 10% move in the metals would be better because that would equal double in the minors. ASM Avino. And I saw something about Don Direct today where he thinks it's a 2000 plus percent mover if you get gold at 7,000, silver at 200. Those numbers I would usually laugh at those, but last year I did not expect 100, 120, so it's possible, and a 2000% in a Vino would be pretty welcome by me. So we could actually talking about Avino, 650 closed above that. That's your first resistance. That's cool, right? We closed it at 648, did we? Well, whatever. We closed around resistance, popped our head above. That's cool. Next stop. This is too close and too mm, unpronounced. So for me, 750 is your level, your next real level, an entire dollar higher. And then 8. 8 is huge because there's a there's nothing obvious. This is not even a gap. There's nothing obvious. I mean, the next move would be above 950. So if we can clear 8, which is the highest point since the Iran war bounce, it's a nice chart, like all the way down, way too much. That's why I started to enter it, right? I wasn't in Avino the whole time up until post-Iran war. Um, not the end of the Iran war. Obviously, we haven't ended it, but you know what I mean? Since the drop. And then it's strong, it wants to break out, but no, the miners are going down, the markets are going down, the war is recommencing. So it goes down, but it doesn't go down much. Just looks like it wants to go sideways up, like next week 750. If we have a move up for sure, maybe even 8, because this one moves. And I mean, look at that. Yesterday was a 9.5% move. That's what I expect from Avino. I expect it, and this is almost blasphemy because my favorite silver miner is CDE, at least because of last year's moves. I think it did the best. I like Pan America. It's a senior beast. It's established and credible, dependable. It doesn't move the most, but it's the safest. But Avino, it just feels like that's the one that moves more even than CDE. So 9.5% is very, very cool, but I kind of expected that. So let's see. Looks good. Now, last one. I love finishing my videos because I finish on the best. Look at this monster. This was already testing all the way up here, better than Metalla, right? It's testing up here even on the worst days. So the fact that it made this huge move at 32, was that on earnings? Probably was. I think it was. That's beautiful. And on a good day. Continuation with yesterday's move. That's cool too. Like this, that's a 9% move since what was it, Friday? Since last, and actually we closed Friday there. It's up almost 30% since Friday. What a beast. And I was saying maybe 40s this year. Well, yeah, of course. If gold goes to 4,400 is easy. You could do that in an afternoon. If gold goes towards 4,000, 6, 7, whatever, you know what I mean? $40 is really easy. And that's another one on Don Direct's list saying 2,000% move if gold goes to 7,000 and silver 200. You imagine 2,000, that's like a 20x, you know? So you're at 30, it's a what? 600. All right. So things are looking very good. This week has been very sweet. Let's not give back too much, and hopefully Friday let's close a hive week. That'd be really good. Good luck.